Let me just share a little bit of history of my own story. And for some of you, you've heard my story, so it may feel like a little bit review, but I want to filter it through the idea of how we double our income. It was in 1988, and I was a high school dropout. Now, when I say high school dropout, I'm being kind. I failed out of school. I was serving with the Guardian Angels. I was volunteering with Curtis Sliwa. Guardian Angels were the guys that wear the red berets and patrolled the subway systems of New York City and the public housing projects and, crime-ridden, neighborhoods all around the United States. And I was with Curtis, and after working with him and volunteering for a number of years, I resigned, and I had about $200 to my name. And I took that $200 and I invested, and I bought a used vacuum cleaner. I bought some furniture polish. I bought some window cleaner. I bought some rags. I bought a mop, a bucket, a wringer. And I made a declaration that I was going to start a business and I was going to go into the commercial cleaning business. I was going to get rich. I wanted to become a millionaire. And who doesn't, right? Now, in many respects, that was an unreasonable goal. It was an unreasonable expectation for maybe even the average person, but really unreasonable for someone who was a high school dropout with no business experience. But here's what happened to me. A few years later, I think through divine intervention, I had an opportunity to be mentored by my first mentor. His name was Patrick Hayes. So I started the cleaning business in 1988, and I struggled, as most entrepreneurs do in those first few years. And then in 1991, Patrick was my first real mentor, the first person who sat me down, told me that he believed in me, saw my potential, and he reached behind him and he grabbed the book, and it was a copy of the book, Think and Grow Rich. And he said, I'm not just going to have you read the book. I'm going to mentor you and I'm going to coach you through the book. And over the next 2 years, he did that. He took me word by word, line by line, paragraph by paragraph, page by page, chapter by chapter. And over those next 2 years, I deeply immersed myself into prosperity thinking, prosperity teaching, what I call prosperity consciousness. Now, I'm talking about prosperity consciousness. I had poverty consciousness. And Patrick began to have me study the idea of universal laws of creation, that the universe creates by law, and that we have an opportunity to understand what those laws are and then to work with those laws in our life. Now, for some of you, especially those of you who may be of the Christian faith as I am, the words universal law can be a really big red flag. You think, I don't want to go down that road. And I understand that. I get that. But you have to understand, I was looking at this from the perspective that these universal laws were really God's laws, and that the universe was obeying God. And actually, my study of universal laws, my understanding of prosperity consciousness, my understanding of the creative process throughout the universe and within individuals allowed me to really find a path back to my original faith studies as a Catholic, believing in God, believing in the Holy Trinity, believing in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. So I was navigating through what sounded like kind of New Age thinking, but I did so with a faith-based Christian perspective, which was important for me. And so if it's important for you, you can relax and know that that's how I'm going to be sharing this throughout the whole program. It was also important for me to find a belief system that was in harmony with what it is that I wanted to create. So in 1991, I was earning around $20,000 a year, and very shortly thereafter, that income went to $250,000 a year. And then from there, I went on to become a millionaire and build literally a multi-million-dollar business in the commercial cleaning industry.